Stream. And there we are. Welcome to the Tongren Weekly Healing Session. We suggest you put in your comments and requests, and we've already got quite a few of them. So let's begin. For people that are new to our weekly session, this is a reverse camera. There we go. There we go. For people that are new to us, this is Tongren Distance Healing Therapy, and you can get your own healing session each time from the convenience of your own computer. So let's do blood flow to the brain in a 3-part Tongren process. This is a Tongren therapy doll, which basically is a convenient map. We can do this without any external tools because we just connect through our mind and the collective unconscious and through the heart of compassion, through the concept of oneness. But we use this as a tool, and it's also a good way to focus the monkey mind, the human mind, which oftentimes has a difficulty focusing. And again, I'm going to remind everybody that we will be finishing up about 6:40 tonight because we have a very special event, an interview with Dr. Group from Texas, world-renowned researcher, doctor, healer, herbalist. And he will be at 7 p.m. and we need to set up a few things. So let's work on a 3-part process. Part 1 is blood flow to the brain. Basically initialize the brain and the brain stem. And we will start with perfect blood, lymph, and strong immune system. And work for Lara with balanced hormones and a worry-free mind. Blood flow to the brain. So the interview of Dr. Group, which I think will be broadcast on this page, but if you need to, go to our registration live interview page. I can actually put in the link for the page here. Blood flow and nerve flow to the entire spine. C1 to C7. And start with the bones, bone marrow, perfect blood. So T1 for the bones, T7 for the spleen and the bone, and blood recycling, regeneration. So T1 for the bones and GB39 for the bones. And the same thing, if you have any requests concerning cleanses, long-term COVID, and urotherapy, which we're going to discuss, which is quite amazing. The amazing power within, God's medicine from within our own bodies. So the additional thing for the bones is the craniosacral fluid, which is good for everyone here. And that has a 2-part process. From the sphenoid bone to the tailbone. GB789, to T1, to the tailbone 1, 2, 3, and 4. And grounding, bladder 54, which I learned yesterday is also good for sciatic. I learned that from a brilliant chiropractic friend of mine. And hello, Dorothy. And to balance it out, for a balanced hormone, calm and worry-free mind, GB13. Hopefully you all can see my hands. I'll move back a little bit. So I'm curious, anybody who's here now interested in joining the doctor group interview? I've interviewed him once before. He's quite an amazing person. And grounding to liver 3 and kidney 1. But again, GB39, a little extra boost for the bones, the bone marrow. And remember, think of the bone marrow as a production center for white blood cells and red blood cells. And oftentimes with certain conditions, those cells don't grow to their full potential and they just take up space. So there's more of useless cells and less of the functioning cells. And the immune system is compromised. Liver 3 and kidney 1. So if people would say hello, make sure that we're all getting, you plan on attending. Are you registered? Eric, I think it'll show up on this page, 99.9%. It will show up on 2 pages at the same time. So we will see. If not, just go to Anusar Wellness on Facebook or YouTube. And let's continue for Laura and for eye issues, for Dorothy and for Catherine. So blood flow to the brain, blood flow to the eyes. And Tiffany will work for addiction. Command points of the brain. And we want to balance the hormones for Laura, which is hypothalamus and pituitary. GP13 for calm and worry-free mind. Hypothalamus, pituitary, the initialization places for the entire endocrine system. And command points of the brain stem. Hey, Tiffany, good to see you. The interview will not be on Instagram. Instagram does not interface with the streaming application we have called StreamYard. So it will be on the Anusar Wellness Facebook page, YouTube channel. If you register, that would be great. We've got over a couple hundred people, about a couple hundred people already registered. Formally, I think if you just go there or stay here, it should show up just fine. Just refresh your screen. So let's work on the eyes. So the facial artery to the eyes. Blood flow to the eyes, C3, C4. The nerves for the eyes. And for cataracts, there is a book called Can See where they use NAC eye drops for correcting cataracts. The ouch point for the eyes. GV17 for the vein strength, for the leaky veins, GV17. Macular degeneration, we work on C3. Circulation, GV17, and the eyes themselves. The ouch point. C1 to C7, T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, anti-inflammation, also for the eyes. Left wet eye, dry right eye. And the cataracts, as we said, Can See, I think, is the book that tells about the cure for cataracts. But it's basically NAC specific proteins for the eyes, which is a remedy for cataracts. Microbiome generates happy hormones, also good to calm and worry the mind. Reduce calm, increase calm, reduce worry from the mind. Yep, that's it. Tough day, sorry to hear that. Let's work with you next. Everyone, Tiffany's had a tough day, so everyone here, we want to support Tiffany. Everybody together with Tiffany, take a nice deep breath through the nose. Exhale, relax. Centered, loving, unconditional compassion. And again, some more for the eyes. And grounding from the vagus nerve to the sacral chakra, to the lower dantian, down to the feet, liver 3, and kidney 1. So let's work with addiction. And yep, there we go. Achieve for perfect blood. We got it. Healthy cholesterol. So let's work on addiction. So we work on GB13 right side. So we've got about 200 people registered for the doctor group. Everyone will get to watch. Adding your questions to the page, the link that I gave you. What's the PET scan? What's the goal of the PET scan? What are they looking for, Tiffany? GB13 for addiction. GB789, the limbic system, the amygdala, primal. And for relaxed citizen, healthy cholesterol levels. And we will talk about cancer in particular today. What is cancer in particular? So two things. First, let's finish up with the cholesterol. If you stop eating cholesterol, you'll have less cholesterol. It is naturally produced in the body at the natural normal levels, as long as you're not eating too many fats, even as a vegan. Blood flow to the brain command points. But overall metabolism, to work with cholesterol, anti-inflammation for the cholesterol levels, and the impact on the arteries. So I definitely recommend the Global Healing Herbal Supplement Vein Health. So eating plant-based, high fiber, high hydration diet, fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds, especially sprouted. Can reverse heart disease, can reverse high cholesterol, reduce inflammation, reverse diabetes. So for the brain, left and right frontal region of the brain, GB13, left side, right side. But cancer is an oxygen deficiency, hypoxia. So what is our goal? To increase oxygen in the body. GB13 right side, left side, frontal lobe. But for anything, any growth or anything like that is a result of acidity and a lack of oxygen. So let's work on the oxygen systems of the body. Phrenic nerve in the neck, P6 for the diaphragm, which is also good for the two meningiomas. GB13 right side for addiction, P1 for the spine. This is a great product. Actually, I'm taking it to strengthen my bones. It's called Back Muscle and Joint. A lot of silica, which is good for strengthening the bones, and of course yoga, which will help to strengthen the connective tissue to support the bones. And you're very welcome, Tiffany. T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8 for the vein arterial inflammation. Lower the cholesterol level. Let's work on the liver. T9, right side. Gallbladder, bile ducts. So let's work to strengthen the entire spine. C1 to S5 for Tiffany. Head to toe. GV20. Cervical 1, tailbone 4. You got it, Cynthia. Cynthia and Tiffany. There's a great bone growing herbal remedy that almost guarantees that you'll have bone growth within 6 months. It's called Grow Bone by the Garden of Life Company. In addition to that, there's some other recommendations that I usually make, such as Osteo Herb by a specific company, but Dr. Winston, herbalist. And then clay, which is high in silica, the precursors to collagen and bones. So clay foot soaks and clay baths for your bones. And for Katrina Carlson McBreedy, head to toe, GV20, the top of the head, C1 to C7, T1 to T12, L1 to L5, S1 to S5, and tailbone 1 to 4. And grounding to liver 3 and kidney 1. So let's do some more work on the brain and brain stem area for Augustina, and also the repair for Paul's mouth, blood flow to the brain. She just had a tooth removed. Blood flow to the brain, Les from Arizona. Command point to the brain. Command point to the brain stem. So for the mouth, C3, 4, and 5, and the ouch point for the mouth, and work on all the teeth, and working on the blood, T1 for the bones, and blood inflammation for the T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. Let's continue to work on the sky window area, the 3 blood supplies to the brain for Augustina. carotid artery of the sky window. So to work on cancer, there are cancer remedies, Essiac herbs, aloe vera, ozonides, oral ozone types of therapy. We will tap for AML. Yes, from Australia. And did you get the information from Dr. Wheatgrass? Bones and bone marrow, mouth area, teeth area, C3, 4, and 5. Blood pressure, GV17 for less as well. Activate the entire spine. So 3 blood supplies for the brain, carotid artery, vertebral artery, and occipital artery. And then a big focus on GV17. So let's work on AML as well. So anything dealing with the bones, start with T1. And continue to work actually on the frontal lobe areas for Augustina, and then GV17 for the brainstem itself. And hello, Esther. Vertebral artery to the spinal artery, anti-inflammation. And the oxygen points also for us, Augustina. T6 for the diaphragm, T3 for the lungs. Lung 1, lung 2, and CV17 also for any brain growths, brain issues, and cancers for everyone. And activate the entire spine, C1 to C7, T1 to T12. And hello on Instagram, Nourish to Flourish Wellness. So let's tap for Hester. But we've got AML, we just got to finish T1 for the bones, TB39 for the bones, craniosacral fluid for the bones. Craniosacral fluid from the sphenoid bone to the entire spine, C1 to S5, and to the tailbone, to the T1 for the bones, and tailbone 1, 2, 3, and 4 for the AML. And grounding and next vagus nerve, and again for Tiffany, CV4 for the energy and the tough day and balancing. Liver 3 and kidney 1. And let's continue. We will work with Esther. Arthritis, so let's blood flow to the brain. T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. For any itis, brachial plexus for the neuropathy to the hands. And then the bladder. So any itis, T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, anti-inflammation. And the blood flow and nerve flow for the bladder. T7 right side for blood flow. S1 to 5 for the bladder. And vagus nerve down the torso, the liver 3 and kidney 1, and one more detox, and we'll do this for everyone. Detox. Clay is one of the best things. You have binders which attach themselves to heavy metals, such as from smoke, mold, mercury, mycozil, specific products to eliminate mold. There are devices you can put in your house to eliminate mold as well. They kind of ionize the air. Is that the good term, right term for it? and then SIBO. So let's do it. One last round for everyone. Then I will be heading off to prepare for the interview of the world famous Dr. Group, Blood Flow to the Brain, TV 1920, 21, 22. High fiber diet, small intestine bacterial overgrowth. That means you have too many bad bacteria, not enough good ones. So my guess, and doctors seem to disagree, that lots of good fermented foods and fiber are good. We've talked about that before. GB13 right side for suicide ideation. And you're welcome, Mumashari, so much. One, two, three, four, seven, 8 for detox, and of course primarily the liver for detox. The skin and the liver, they work together. T4 for the skin, T9 right side for the liver. And the microbiome, T11, T12, L4, L5. And it looks like we've finished with everyone early anyway. And grounding for everyone. Vagus nerve, gut brain axis for everyone. GB12, stomach 12, CV12. You're very welcome, Laura and Momashari. As always, breathe in and out through the nose. Continue to let the chi flow for you and always have some liquids afterwards. Liver 3 and kidney 1. So let's charge the battery for everyone and boost the immune system, focusing on CV4 just below your belly button. So thank you everyone for joining us. Tiffany, Cynthia, Katrina, Happy Mama, Esther, Catherine. Our goal is to gain strength and momentum through the compassion of supporting each other through a healing community. And thank you, Catherine. I hope you can go. I was listening to some prep work for the interview, and he did have some very convincing recommendations for macular degeneration, for leukemia, through cleansing and urotherapies as well. Many blessings and health to everyone. Thank you, Maria. And grounding for everyone. Take a nice deep breath through the nose. There will be a replay of this interview everywhere, all over the place, and they're going to be posting it themselves, I think even on Telegram. But on the page that I gave the link for, and I can send you the link to, it will be replayed. And a clearing for everyone. Thank you, everyone, for joining. And we look forward to hopefully seeing you either next week or in about 20 minutes with the internationally renowned Dr. Group, who is the person that I get my herbs from, the person that I adopted the colon cleanse from, and the person I'm interested to learn more, because we're always searching and searching for all the questions that you have every week. I'm constantly searching to find solutions for all of you, especially for the eye issues and different things. And he has some good recommendations. Thank you very much, Edwina, as well, and have a great day.